Good morning, everybody, and once again, welcome back in today's class. Today, we're on the day number 15, and I can say that we are closing the week 3 of this batch. So, what we discussed yesterday is about risk, risk statement, framework, and type of risk like inherent risk, residual risk, target risk, the controls, risk appetite, tolerance, threshold. And now we're going to do a little bit more deep dive into the same. In ServiceNow, when we talk about the risk, and specifically for this particular training we're talking now, there are the two major things given by ServiceNow. One is called the GRC risk management, and one is called GRC advanced risk. So if I go back here and just log into the instance, and go to the plugins. Okay. And now if you search for the integrated, which we which we did, or let me say the risk management. This one. And if you see the list of plugins it installed, one we installed this one, advanced risk, and one we installed the risk management. So sometimes customers say, no, I'm not a big organization and I don't want to be go multiple things or little bit advanced. Then they just install the GRC risk management. But nowadays company says, no, I'm a larger one and I need more stuff to be manage my risk. So when we say the advanced risk, in this there are the benefits or the stuff a module can provide. We can configure the multiple type of advanced risk assessments, which is not possible in the normal risk management. Second, we can define and we can visualize risk aggregation appetite. So these things we're going to be see in the upcoming sessions. And we can have a multiple types of risk events: financial, non-financial, actual losses, near misses losses, kind of things we can do. So generally when we go and implement GRC risk management for the customer, we always go for the both risk and advanced risk management. Today we are going to be discuss that what are the roles and what are the tables involved in this discussion. So we know that entity type, control, we know. What about the risk? In the risk, three things are important. One is your framework, statement, and risk. There is a hierarchy. Like if I just to give you a comparison or similarity, not the comparison, similarity. Authority document, citation, control. That's all. Or if you can say more, control objective, sorry, citation, control objective, and controls. This is a sequence we need to be follow. And in this, we have these tables involved. So if I go back here, So we are going to be discussing main this risk statement, risk assessment instance, that is your indicator assessment kind of things, and risk response task, indicator task. तो यहाँ पर indicators थे, यहाँ पर risk ये है. So first is risk statement. Right? Yep. Okay. What we'll do now, we'll see a little bit on the table and ascend underscore risk. ये देखो 87 tables are there for us. We are interested, number one, in this कहाँ गई अपने ascend underscore risk definition. Advance this one. Framework and statement. Response task. It means ultimately task table also one of the table which has been used in the risk management. So if I say the risk framework first, and go to schema. Framework has been extended from the task. Show the referenced field tables. Framework has a field from the provider group and this. If I just remove this and open this, देखो, entity type and content reference to the risk framework. Mainly is entity type which are going to be discussed. So ये हो गई हमारी first table. Means ये. Risk framework has a risk statement. Now go to risk statement table. ढूंढते हैं. ये आ रहा है कंटेंट टेबल से, GRC कंटेंट. Risk statement is coming from the content table. If I put the referenced, so now you can see appetite, assessment, document, group, hierarchy, assessment templates, GRC choice. These are three different tables. And important is risk table. Where we're going to be work it. So lookup use करेगा, रुको. We'll go back to the tables only. This is my table name, ascend risk underscore risk. This one. और ये extend हो जाए control risk table से. And show schema. Appetite, assessment methodology, risk statement. और advanced risk statement assessment भी है. So in this mainly multiple tables are involved, but the relationship is like this. Entity type can have multiple risk statement. One risk statement has a multiple risk. And one risk have a assessment and task. One assessment has a multiple task, means one indicator has a multiple task. Also, if you see, it has been linked with the control as well. Is important. So if I show you something like here, so this is a normal risk management without plugin of advance. but if you install the advanced plugin as well, then it has a methodology table and type of assessment. इसको थोड़ा थोड़ा सा just remember it now for a time being. When we go in the service now, I can show you these things. Assessment type. What type of assessment you want to be do? Inheritance, control, residual, and target assessment. And factors is like your indicators. Group factor, child factor, manual, or base. But the thing is that in the risk management, the role are more than the compliance one. Compliance mainly we see the three roles: user, admin, and manager, and GRC user. But in the control, it is not like that. In the control, it is more than that. This one. So if I go back here and show the roles now, because as of now, my admin has no role of the risk, proper roles of the risk, sorry. First is risk user. Sorry, it's a yeah. What is the name of this rule? Risk user SN इसको ऐसे ढूंढते हैं. ये देखो, ये रहा. This is the first rule which required to access the risk application and the module other than the admin. Then we have a GRC business user. See, this user, if you remember that we have in the compliance as well, policy and compliance means the user who is going to work on these applications. So this is not what I can say bifurcated on the base of the module. It is common for compliance and your risk owner. First, risk manager provide management in rights to the risk application. देखो, in the risk, one thing is important. More you think that these can be the risk happen, more you have to be define the stuff. In compliance, we have a UCF. Under UCF, we have a different standards, COBIT, ITL, Prince2 kind of things. In risk as well, we have a risk framework. And we have 3 or 4 main frameworks has been given by ServiceNow out of the box, which we discuss. So risk manager provide management right to the risk application. Risk reader only read role might be for the audit purpose only. And risk admin configuration, update, delete kind of things can be done by this one. ये तो हो गए हमारे main these roles. Now another important role, which is actually important, is a workspace role. I specifically mentioned these 3 different roles. The workspace role are the different one because in the risk and in the risk management, there are 3 type of roles available for a user. It can be operational risk manager, means who just interested to be know from the operation perspective that what's going on. Business operation, a high level, a one level above. And finally, IT risk manager. Based on the role you give to a user, he or she can see the different view of the workspace. Let me show you something like this. Mhm. Yes, okay. So risk workspace. So based on that, what type of role you have in the workspace, you can see the first page. Risk profile, operational risk, you can see. If I am the user who has a multiple workspaces role, then I will see one drop down here and I can change the things. Might be initially I was just a operation one, but now I'm a business and then I'm going to be IT side. So I can see these things because in the risk is mainly money matters. Money means the loss. How much is going to be loss if this risk event is occur? So you can see that, okay, if I am a IT operation manager, sorry, business operation risk manager, I can say this thing, net loss, how many KPIs are failing now, how many risk I have, control risk events I have. And you can see the graphs. I can say till now, this is one of the major workspace which I saw in ServiceNow, which provide a lot of deep discussions. Also, if you see one more thing here, this is called the heat map. I want to be the enterprise risk management. See, this is the heat map, and the thing is that if you click on this, you can see the details as well. See, high. Mainly it is you, and it you can say from likelihood to the impact, almost certain and extreme. Then it's a risk or reduce geographic growth, misuse of authority, and cost forecast. Risk statements and the risk are there. You can see risk movement, risk trend. What do you want to be see? I want to be see the risk trend. See. It should show the trend line as well, actually. In June 23, only one thing happened. And I want to see the risk movement. In height था रेजिडुअल हुआ और टारगेट पे चला गया. Because if you missed out something to be evaluated in the risk, you're losing a lot of things here. And you can download it, you can copy it as well. So and also a user can see what type of risk he want to be see. Operational risk management. See. Top risk, top 10. ये top 10 में. For which entity you want to be see? I want to be see for the, let's say for the HR department. नहीं है क्या उसमें? Let's see for the food and beverages. Due to see from the risk name, risk count, like this. What type of risk want to be see? Residual risk. See. To click on this. ये देखो ये आ गया. Market risk and tornado risk. In fact, is a high. And you can see the ratings as well. So in the risk, lot of things are available. And based on the role, it will be done. Now, because we have a compliance, we have a risk. Now we need an audit as well. So there are two rules: audit user, audit manager. ठीक है, ये देखो ये रहा SN Workspace IT, SN Workspace Operational, SN Workspace Business. Based on the role, we should give this role to the user, that what type of user it is, so that he can see or she can see the workspace. What I can say, the landing page according to that particular role. In the risk, we have to create the assessments as well. And when we install the advanced risk assessment, so ServiceNow give few ARA role. You will see a word called the RAM, risk assessment methodology, ARA, advanced risk assessment. Because as I say, we have this thing, ARM, advanced RAM. Sorry, ARM is ARA. Because we have the advances, so we can see more advanced level of assessments. And risk mainly work on the question answers. If I think there can be risk, I can give you a question, and based on your answer, I will evaluate that this risk possible to be happen. What is the risk score? What is the risk appetite? We can decide for this one. So we have to give ARA role. This will be applicable only when it is a advanced risk assessment has been installed. This is normal assessments. This is advanced assessments. Approver, assessor, creator, and reader. Now what I will do, I'll just open my profile in the other window, and we will give all risk role to my user so that we can see everything properly. ठीक है, रिस्क मैनेजर, रिस्क रीडर, रिस्क क्रिएटर, रिस्क एडमिन. और क्या था इसका? एसएन रिस्क कितनी है ना? 30, 19 we have given it. Save. Now let's see, is ServiceNow give any group as well? Out of the box group. Risk manager, IT risk, and risk manager. So let's add our admin in these two, so that it is easy for us to be do. कुछ नहीं assessment करके ना. ठीक है, good. Save and just log out and log in again, so that the rules, the user, the group get activated. Clear everybody till this point? Doubt, question, clarification? Anyone? Now we discuss this, and now come to the risk creation. Okay. What we'll do, we'll go to the workspace risk. This is what we see, that okay, this is be available for me, and we'll go in this list. So we have a heat map, we have a task, like we have a in the compliance dashboard to see my group's things. We have an issue which we raise later on. We have a list, and we have a dashboard. I can see loss event overview. I can see risk event by street. Now I'll come to this one. In this, I have multiple things. Might be company says, no, I don't want to be go for the compliance first. I want to be go for the risk. And either you're doing the risk or the compliance. Entities are the important. So in this, we have entity classes, which we discuss. So if you see our class is also there, LNG worker. We have entity type, LNG PPC. We have entity class rules. Definitely we don't have this thing. And then entity type. But there is nothing called entities in this one. Entities in the library in this place. So this section we know. Now the thing is that, as I see, framework, statement, and the risk. What we did for the compliance. Anybody idea how we create a control, or how we link a control to the what I can say, my entity? Any idea, any step you remember? What we did? We did the authority document, then citation, then control objective, and then entity, and then we tick this box, create controls automatically, and then entity and the controls get created. ठीक है जी? So this is what we did. Now same thing we're going to do here. What this mean? Risk compliance, risk framework, risk statement, or risk. I will start with the risk statement first. But यहाँ देखो, it has a multiple things: identification, assessment project, risk response, indicator we know, risk events, triage we know, this thing. Now, what type of risk statement you want to be do? Or let's say one thing, I want to be create a risk framework first. Like I said in the beginning that in the compliance, we have a authority document. In the same manner, there are a few risk framework given by ServiceNow. And these are the standard across the industries. This is called NIST RFM, RMFF. Look, I'll show you something here. Risk frameworks. Few examples I'll show you. Not this one, which I read yesterday. One more important thing. Let's say, Atul, what you are teaching is good, or what we are seeing is good, but I want to know the basic process of GRC. You can go to the now code, or you can just mention like this: risk management in GRC, and open this link, product link, this one. Okay, open this link, and if you go a little bit down, you can read about this thing. This is not only for the sales perspective. This is mainly on the reading perspective as well. You can read the white paper, that what ServiceNow is giving to us. What are the use cases available for this one? Risk assessment, key indicators, reporting, additional features, what we can get it, and what are the other resources there. Or if you want to load a little bit on the data sheet, ये देखो ये रहा, risk management, real time response है, छोटा सा 2 pages का automated risk assessment, importance of risk management. You can get it from there. What we're looking for, how to get risk framework. Yes, this is what I was looking for. Create a risk framework. Is something given by service not out of the box? नहीं, ठीक है, चलो यहाँ पे. So if you see this library, NIST RMF, this is a standard risk framework. If I just search this, risk framework, ये देखो ये रहा. Risk management framework provides a process that integrates security, privacy, and cyber one. Like we have a COVID. In the same manner, there's a few risk frameworks are type this. So NIST is one of the framework which provide access control risk, awareness, audit, configuration, maintenance, like this it provide. Third party supply chain, might be I am dealing in the vendors and I want to see that what is the impact. So what is the risk if I deal with the vendors? So I can see like this. So if you want, we can create our own risk framework. LNG training class delay. Let's say this is my framework. So what is the framework means? Remember the definitions now. Numerous risk statement जिसके अंदर है. It is like a category kind of things. So this thing, manage category. What is the risk to my project from the people perspective, from the process perspective, from the technical perspective, from the finance perspective, from the skill perspective. So what you're doing, you are creating a framework for the different categories. In the resources, I have a different risk statement. Underskill, overskill, underpaid, overpaid. Those are my statements. Underpaid, I have a risk. He will leave immediately. That is my risk. So now we are creating a new risk framework. Let's say LNG training. LNG training, techno-functional. And save. Framework हो गया. Either you can link the framework to the entity type here only. If we do this, it will inherit all the risk statement, which I don't want. Now I'll go back here. Risk statement. So like these are the risk statements given by ServiceNow, which are the part of risk framework. Anybody know about the SOX? Surveillance excellence, which is the word here, which mainly is do. Cost forecasts are inaccurate. Risk statement है मेरी ये for the category project. Training and development. Risk statement. What is the risk statement in this? Just giving example and what are the it's saying. ये तो मेरी एंटिटीज से आ गया. But actually risk statement क्या है? Training and development. And if I link this risk statement with my entity, the risk will be generated. ये अभी हमारा काम नहीं है. We'll be discuss about the risk statement. So what we'll do now? We'll go back here. Risk framework. And we'll create our risk statement. Either you can add from the previous one. Let's say I want to add something on the change management. This one. You can add it if you think. Changes in the standing master data. Exchange rate variability. Lack of change management system. It's a risk. Wow. And when risk statement, when we add this risk statement to the entity, we got the risk. And then we add the assessments that why I'm saying that it is a risk. So I'm going to create my own. I add one, this one. And I will we create one new as well, because there's a lot of fields available here. Risk statement. Delay in joining class. क्योंकि statement क्या है? Remember the fundamental. Is the general statement about a potential risk. A delay can be from your side, from my side as well. It was serve as a template. ठीक है, चलो लेते हैं. Description. Joining late may cause delay in close of course. Now the important things. Do we have any parent? Like we have a control objective and control objective parent. Do you have? No. Or you can say, if I have something, parent is something called training here or nahi hai? ठीक है, ये एम्प्लॉय स्किल दिस वन. देखो उसने क्या किया, उसने रिस्क एपेटाइट एंड की वैल्यू कॉपी कर ली. मैंने कहा नहीं चाहिए फिर तो मुझे, इट्स कंफ्यूजिंग फॉर मी, लीव इट. व्हाट इज द कैटेगरी ऑफ दिस रिस्क? Credit, financial, IT, legal, market, operational. Just for the category purpose, I said it is a IT. What is the assessment? Because as of now we did not get any assessment. So assessment means we are referring this screenshot now. अभी हम ये बना रहे हैं, देखो. We are building this thing and it is asking for the assessment. ये कि कैसे, how you are going to be evaluated that it is a risk, because based on the cautionary. So if I say, okay Mahesh, I want to go from Pune to Delhi. Okay Atul, no problem, go. I want to go by car. Is it safe? I'll put few questions. How far it is from Pune to Delhi? Atul, approximately 1500 kilometers. Okay. Can I drive in the night? No. Is it highway? 80% is a highway, 20% is not a highway. Is any good hotels on the way? No. Can I drive after 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock when the sun set? Or the still it's on the dawn stage? No. Is it safe if I can travel alone? No. So now on the basis of these answers, what do you think? Is it safe to be traveled by a car or not? What do you think? Rhythm, what do you think? Is it safe to be traveled or not?
Yeah, Atul, can you come again?
Sorry, it is.
मतलब एकदम फिर से बोलिए.
So on the basis of the questions which I asked now, do you think that it is safe to travel by car from Pune to Delhi?
Mm,
If you see this,
um,
or if you see these answers which I just gave or Mahesh gave to me, what do you think, Anu?
I
Mahesh?
can say that it is there is some risk, but yeah, we can go.
Yes. It means on the basis of the answers, you are evaluating the risk as well. And you're giving the risk score. अतुल 100% रिस्की नहीं है बट 60-70% रिस्क है.
Yes, I can, we can say that.
This is called assessment. So as of now, we have nothing assessment in our side. So what I will do, I'll just put the simple risk assessment, which is coming as a default. Which functional domain it is going to impact? It is a IT risk and compliance. Okay. Issue group rule. Group by risk owner. And now this is important. And important is that when I say that when we implement the GRC for our customer, we need a business users as well. Because ये value हम नहीं कर सकते. Inherit SLE. What does this mean? SLE stands for the single loss expectancy. Asset value into the exposed factor. That if this issue, this risk happen once, then what is the loss value you are thinking? If my server crash in the peak hours, what is the loss will be there? Single loss. एक बार में कितना loss होगा? It's a asset value into the exposed factor. So I can say the loss will be for $40,000. ये इनहेरिट है जिसमें आपको कोई कंट्रोल ही नहीं है, which you cannot control it. Right? This is what the inherit says. Remember these words. Risk without mitigation action. You're traveling and weather conditions. You're traveling flood. You're traveling some fire happen in between. Where you cannot control. ये भगवान भरोसे. So this is what I am saying. But what about the residual risk? Risk that remains after mitigation action. You took some action, but still you think that, okay, if I have all the controls on the place, I have all the people on the place, I have a team on the place, but still can I deliver this project on time? If no, then what will be the loss? So if this, then I can say the loss will be only 5,000. ये भी SLE है. Single loss, single this thing, loss expectancy. What is the ALE? Inherit ARO, sorry, ARO, not ALE, ARO. Annualized rate of occurrence means what are the percentage likelihood this inherit occur in a year. Atul, it can occur. The chances of occurrence is 0.5%. Same goes for the residual occur. कि actions लेने के बाद भी how much the percentage it will be occur? It will be like 0.3%. ठीक है, good. चलो. Risk rule up and tolerance. How much you can tolerate? Yesterday, Anu, you asked me the question, right? That what is the different the example for the tolerance here? Okay, so I can say the tolerance is something you are giving a discount. You go to a store and you buy some outfit, and you say to that shopkeeper, "What is the discount?" He said, madam, it's 7%. Okay. But you want to buy it, but you need a more discount. No, it's 7 is too less. I need more. What the shopkeeper says, generally what the shopkeeper says, sorry, ma'am, I can give this much only because this is what the cost I am getting it now. But still, he want to sell. He says, okay, I will give the 10% discount. Now the 10% is become my tolerance value. Because after 10% as well, he's able to save some margin. That is what the tolerance means here. Clear example.
Yes, yes.
And threshold means up to 8 I can go easily. 7 to 8, like it's not like 7 to 10, I'm saying 7 to 8 I can go, but after 8 my margin is getting reduced, this one. So in this we're going to be see that what is the tolerance value expected ALE. ALE, what is the meaning of ALE? Sorry, annualized loss. कि annual loss कितना होगा, और ये क्या है, सिंगल लॉस इनटू occurrence. Single loss into occurrence. So I'm just putting a random figure here. $80,000. Maximum acceptable ALE. Maximum कितना loss bear कर सकते हो? I can maximum bear for the 90,000. Sorry. This one. Because अभी हमारे पास कुछ scores नहीं है, हमारे पास average वगैरह कुछ नहीं है, इसलिए calculate score नहीं कर पाएगा. Now and who is the owning this? IT risk manager and the system admin. See, मेरा risk statement बन गया. अभी कुछ नहीं है तो उसने 90 रिस्क भी बना दिए. क्यों? क्योंकि व्हाट वी हैव डन, आई गेस वी डन दिस थिंग, पेरेंट उसके पेरेंट के बेसिस उसने बनाया, और वी हैव अ दिस थिंग. टोटल 19 इवेंट्स, नियर मिस 2, लॉस अभी नहीं है कुछ भी. क्लियर एवरीबॉडी टिल दिस पॉइंट? बताइए, डाउट, क्वेश्चन, क्लैरिफिकेशन.
Atul, like in weak statement can be both inherited and residual, right?
हाँ, होगा डेफिनेटली. क्योंकि सी, आई सेड, let's take example. It's a real time example. One of my cousins was getting married. It's somewhere 2015 or 17, which I remember it. Okay, he was getting married. His base was in Chandigarh, so he was getting married. His father and mother booked a very good banquet hall. It was like summer seasons. No expectations, no forecast of the rain. They book a very good banquet hall, open garden kind of things. And on the day of the marriage, the weather start getting little bad. Can you control that weather?
No.
Definitely no. It means this is an inheritance. Okay. So you says that, boss, this is I cannot control it. So every risk has an inheritance. The likelihood can be less. But every risk statement says that it must have a inherent value और उसका occurrence. Residual, ठीक है, it is be happening, but can I control with some actions? हाँ. In the same banquet hall, make sure we have a covered space as well. In case rain happen, we can shift everything to the cover area in the hall. Because residual is always says after mitigate, after, if you read this statement again, देखो, it says risk that remain after implementing the mitigation action. You are not well. After taking medicine, what we say that it will take 5 to 7 days for the recovery, or it will be like this for a little bit more time. आपने कंट्रोल तो कर लिया ना, आपने दवाई ले ली, that is the one thing, but still there is a risk. There is a difference between residual and target. Target कहता है कि the target is represent the optimal risk that you can aim to achieve. कि boss, if I implement all these controls, how much risk I can save it. ये कहता है कितना रह जाएगा बाकी. Like I ask a question, can I travel from Pune to Delhi by a car? In my car, I keep blanket. In my car, I have a setup to be sleep as well. In my car, I have a one or two kind of sticks. In my car, I have a sufficient water. In my car, I have a sufficient food. कि बॉस अगर इतना कुछ है तो I can achieve 90% of the risk. But 10% still remain. That is residual risk. क्योंकि रहेगा, as I say that buying the insurance policy doesn't mean that we will never die. Risk is still open. You're taking the action, you're taking the control, you have policies, but risk still open. But yes, if I take a insurance policy, I'm covering 80% of my life risk. Clear हुआ rhythm up?
हाँ, clear.
Right.
और
Because
और
good.
हाँ, सॉरी. तो और एक चीज देखा डैशबोर्ड में, नियर मिस. तो नियर मिस का मतलब क्या, मतलब ऑलमोस्ट क्या हुआ था, I mean,
Sorry, near me.
नियर
Or
मिस
near,
एक था ना डैशबोर्ड में.
yes. Wait, you can see here, right? Near miss means due to this event, risk event, we did not reach the loss, but we're almost on reaching the loss and we missed out. So this thing we'll see when we go for the risk assessment, risk event as well. Then you can see this thing. You appear for exam. Okay. The passing marks for exam is 33. You got 32. Now what you say?
नियर मिस, ऑलमोस्ट
Near
लाइक
miss.
क्लास.
Almost near miss, right? If passing marks 33 and you got only 12 or 5, will you say it's a near miss?
नो, आई
Then you
कंप्लीटली
say
फेल.
it's completely loss. Because the near miss will tell that okay, what else we can do to make sure that we achieve and we met that risk. So that it is never to be even near miss. As a near miss is like a red flag for us. Yeah, thoda sa, if you work little hard more, you clear it. You missed nearly with the 1 or 2 points. I missed my university position in MCA just from the 2 marks. My friend got 418 out of 500. I got just 416. So it was a near miss for me. And now I have to see that what else I can do to make sure that I got this number in my next exam. So now our risk statement is ready. You can add the control objective from the control table. Same thing. What we have the control is DS1, which is in 081 something is there, right? 8156 or something. Chalo, let's say this one. I can add the control objective as well, because what we're looking for. Yeah. Risk statement must have a control. That why you're having the risk statement, because we have a control on the place to have this risk, to control this particular, and to control we have this control objective on the place और इसके पीछे policies. So if you bring this picture here, and if you can bring this picture also, if I remember that I have, any other picture we have for this one? No. Now you can link it easily. तो हम इसकी बात करें. Okay, let me do one thing. Bring it here and bring it here. And now if I show you this thing, we are linking this and this. This is compliance, this is risk. ये common है. This is a common. See. So control has a citation, authority document, risk has a statement and framework. Risk, control, policies. Clear a picture of how these are linked with each other. See, control has a risk. Same thing, risk as a control. Now you got the idea that overall architecture कैसे काम, what is the overall architecture for GRC risk and compliance? Yes or no?
Yes, Kapil.
But so now you can add a control here. Sorry, control objective here. And same thing, we can add a entity type here. What is our entity type? Is LNG BPCs. Corresponding risk will be created. जैसे see 124. Why? Because we have 124 entities here. If you go to the control objectives, open this and tick this box and save. तो इसके controls बन जाएंगे अपने आप. See, risk statement. You can see the mapping. This one. These two are how these two are related with each other. I go in the control objective, I can see the risk statement. I go in the risk statement, I can see the control objective. And save. So, two different things work in the parallel. It has a different life cycle. It is a different life cycle. ये वाला. But linking to the entity is same. ठीक है, all clear everybody? And now if you click on the 360 view, you can see everything in one place. See, you can see risk framework. This is my framework. You can see which control is relative is there. You can see entity type here. You can see total risk here. There is no downstream. And if you see risk statement here, like this. So 360 view is one of the important key because we just have a simple use case. But think for a company, if they have a big alignment, multiple objective, multiple controls, multiple risk, then you can see this thing with a wider terms. ठीक है? Any last question, doubt, clarification? Good. Let me stop the recording and take attendance now. And Monday we will start with the risk.